They're not going to admit to it because they're thinking at the last minute maybe a whole bunch of Donald Trump supporters will come through, or some of these hitting hitting supporters, people saying they're going to vote for Hillary, but at the last minute when they get into the voting booth, they'll click on Donald Trump. But as far as I'm concerned, and you know, I'm heavy into this. I don't watch sports a lot, but I'm heavy into these
Mm-hmm.
the politics. Um, the handwriting is on the wall. The fat lady is approaching the microphone. She's getting ready to start singing.
Yeah, I've already blown taps on him. It's over.
He's toast.
Yep. I mean, I just like you said, I don't see the path. You know, a couple months ago, maybe, but today I don't see the path to that 270.
No.
And each day that goes by, it gets grimmer and grimmer.
And if you will put a microscope up under it
Mm-hmm.
and see what was his Achilles heel, it will be that tape from the bus.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that pretty much done it.
I think that really started that slope of dive, dive, dive. I felt like I was in a submarine hearing the commander go dive, 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 and it was, after that it was just like sandbags poured on him and made him go down even faster.
Hmm.
And listen, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some other scandals that is lurking in the dark corners that still might come out on both of them, quite frankly,
Wow.
because
Now, if a
politics
super
is
super
low down and
major
dirty.
scandal come out on Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump may have somewhat a remote chance, but it will have to come between now and 10 seconds before people start voting. But at this particular moment, Hillary Clinton, it appears to me she's going to be the first female president of the United States.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
Yeah, it is, and I'm glad when she did the debate last night, she wasn't dressed like the penguin.
Yeah, she wasn't.
And
She,
another
she
thing, if you notice, Donald Trump he only sniffs during
during
the
the
debates.
debate. What is that, man?
Well, I believe he's on his plane. He's energizing himself with the white substance because he knows his audience over 80 million, and he needs to really be on point. But I've seen him speak at some of his rallies on the stump. He never, ever, ever,
Never,
ever sniffs.
never.
During the debates, he sniffs a lot. Now, he didn't sniff that much last night, but
No,
he
just a
did do
few
some sniffs.
times, but he did.
He
Maybe he's
did.
more conscious of it, and he's trying to. Did you see him? He kept playing with the microphone as well.
He was adjusting the mic left and right. And the
Yeah.
very first question, when Chris Wallace asked him the question about the Supreme Court,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't even a minute into that question, answering the question, and he started talking about, well, she said some negative things about me. This, that, and I mean, come on, man, what's this?
He can't stay on script, man. He just, he can't because he's not good at the facts. He can't stay on message. He then falls back and starts ad libbing, and that's where he gets himself in trouble. Then if they hit him with a curveball, a tough question, or if Hillary hits him with, something that he it really rubs him wrong, she gets a dig in, and you can just watch him
Right.
physically. He started getting uncomfortable and aggravated, and he wanted to interrupt a number of times, even in the first 15 or 18 minutes. And he pulled back because I guess he heard his campaign manager saying,
Hmm.
"Don't do that. You do that, you're going to kill yourself." And so he had some restraint there in the first 15 minutes or so. Then the Trumpism just took over and he started going ballistic again.
It kicks in. It
Yeah,
kicks in.
he wasn't
Yeah.
as bad as he was in the second debate or the first debate, but it was still that bad behavior is just embedded deep in him, and he can't do anything about it. It's just who he is.
He keeps saying he got the temperament to be president, but one minute, Hillary Clinton was mentioned. Well, on your show, The Apprentice, 3 seasons went by, you didn't get an Emmy. Well, we should have got one. We should have got one. Like, come on.
Who
I
does
have the
that?
most respect for women. No one has the most respect for women other than me. But by the way, you're a nasty woman.
You're right. And even the people in the audience laughed at him at that point when he made that statement about no one who respects women more than me.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
Come on.
I mean that's one liner that he needs to delete out of his repertoire because
Quickly.
it has no credibility. Even if 50% of the women lied, One. If one is telling the truth, you have no credibility.
Mark Cuban, who owns the Mavericks out of Dallas, Texas,
Yeah.
he mentioned that he knows personally two of the women. Now he didn't. I don't know if they're part of the nine, but he knows two women that Donald Trump was messing around with.
Hmm.
So, and this is during the time when he was married.
Yeah, right.
So, but Donald Trump is not going to be the president. I will say this much on behalf of him in his defense. He did something that captured the attention of people across the country that really drove and fueled his campaign when he was going off on all those governors and senators and big time politicians, and no one else has ever done that before. In the
No.
way that he did it, and that brought a lot of attention to Donald Trump, and the media went crazy over that, and the media gave him all this exposure.
Yep.
Then later on, he was talking about he's not getting the kind of exposure he needs from the media.
Who's gotten more? No one.
Billions of dollars of
Free advertising.
17 candidates was running, and Donald Trump had 80% of the press coverage.
That's right. He owned them.
He's a big baby. He's a big whiner. He came off strong and tough,
Mm-hmm.
but then all of a sudden, the whining antennas start raising up.
Yeah, because he felt the pain of losing. He saw his message not really reaching and growing. Key here is it's easy to go in and pander to the already confused base. And he was successful, like you said, he was able to get people on board because he was going against the establishment. Okay? And that resonated with a lot of people.
It did.
And it resonated with me too. But when you look beyond just the words, you have to then say, okay, well, can he pull this off? Is he credible? Can he muster the support of the Republican Party? Will he be able to reach across the aisle? And then after one crazy statement after another, after all of these evil, deplorable messages he was sending out, you know, the one that resonates with me the most is I can stand in Times Square and shoot someone and you will still vote for me, still
Right.
follow me.
Right.
And that to me is like, huh? Really? Is that how little you think of the people who are following you? I mean, because that's what that meant to me.
It did. It made him seem like he was invincible. He was God.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing can
And
stand in
you're
his way.
stupid enough to follow me. That's what he was saying to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why the Trump supporters weren't offended by that. I don't get it. I really don't.
Well, they like him. He has some die-hard supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the big question is, what is he going to do from November 9th and beyond?
Well, the scuttlebutt of the rumors is that there's a TV network that he's going to be involved in. His son-in-law has been out looking for money. And I know for a fact that he's talked to a bank in New York because I had a friend who's friends with the president of that bank. And I won't name them at this point, but at some point I will.
About the $20 million?
Yeah. And they turned him down. So he's out shopping for money. But see, here's the thing, man. I just don't understand why anybody would invest in a guy with horrible character who has had 6 failed businesses, all kind of scandals around him, now 4,000 lawsuits. To me, it's just a high risk, and why do that? You're going to go in for the short ride, and you think you're going to go in and get your money back quickly? Not going to happen. I don't believe it.
No.
I don't see that path working.
Several things disturb me about him. First of all, he took a lot of people money with the Trump University,
Mm-hmm.
and then he had Mexicans working on some of his hotels and casinos, paying them kibbles and bits, and then in some cases they didn't get paid at all. They were making $4 or $5 an hour, and then they didn't get paid. In some cases they didn't get paid. The Mexicans had to sue, and they still didn't get paid. He has so many lawsuits on him. I mean, if it was 2050, it still wouldn't be settled.
Right.
And then
he
another thing that disturbed me,
outsources jobs to the horrible products that he's come up with to
Right.
China and other places. So he's hypocritical. He says, we need to do things at home and bring the jobs back and lower the taxes and all of that. And all of that's good for you, but not for the American people.
He's a flip-flopper, and he has double standards. But Macy's dropped his clothing line. He had
Hmm.
certain ties, but they were made in China. And then when Donald Trump spoke about it, he was like, "Well, okay, I got them in China because I'm a businessman. I got to save money, and they got a low rate. But if the stuff was going great here in America, I wouldn't have to go to China. So, it's just do as I say, but don't
Hmm.
do as I do."
Right. Criticize other folks doing it, but it's okay when you do it. So you can't do that. Again, Americans are smarter than the average bear. You might have been able to pull that off 50 years ago when the educational level or percentage of educated people was lower than it is today. Not where it needs to be. And that's obvious by the misinformed, uninformed support that he's having from millions of people. But that doesn't mean that it's a good idea what he's doing. It's a bad idea. He's just pandering to the people that are a little soft in the noodle and they're easily swayed in a bad direction. And I hate saying that, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm not
Yes.
lying. I'm not making some stuff up. I'm not trying to be hateful or disrespectful even. It's the truth. That's where we are right now.
Well, a big sign for him with the state of Georgia, by the state of Georgia flickering between red and blue. That's an immediate sign that
Yeah.
that his stuff is not working because traditionally Georgia is a Republican state.
Yes. Pretty much, which is kind of interesting because the majority of the population, I believe, is in the Atlanta area, and the majority of the population in Atlanta is African American, and
Hmm.
Georgia is also building daily in the Hispanic population. It seems to me that wouldn't be so red.
Right. But those rednecks, they know how to come out in droves.
Yeah.
They know how to come out in droves. And I do want to mention to the people that's listening, some people feel like, well, since Hillary's going to win or Donald Trump is not a good person, I don't really need to vote.
No,
Or
no, you need to
so,
vote.
yeah, because he could actually creep up there if so many people will have that attitude or that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Your vote counts. Every vote counts.
Absolutely. If you stay
And
home, that's a missed vote.
right, and that's another reason
And
why
it
some
works
of the
both
rallies
ways.
that Hillary Clinton had wasn't so big in attendance as Donald Trump because some people felt like, okay, I'm gonna vote for Hillary anyway. I'm not gonna go to a rally because she's not really a tremendous big speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump is more of an entertaining type person. They like to hear
Yeah.
him do the wolf tickets like a Howard Stern, political Howard Stern. So
Yeah, yeah.
they wanted to be in the air and breathe the same air that he's in and hear this stuff. But at the end of the day, you can watch it on TV as much as you want, listen to the radio as much as you want, but come November 8th, your presence is requested.
Absolutely. And if you're registered now, it's nothing wrong with voting in advance, early voting. You can vote by mail. You can do absentee. I got a couple of friends that have already sent in their absentee ballot because they're not going to be in town. So there's no excuse for you not to vote,
Hmm.
other than you just won't go, or just being a lazy butt or disinterested. Don't lose that interest because if you don't vote, things will stay the same. If you want to bring about change, you want to see something that works better and different in D.C., then participate in the process. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. There's no other way of looking at that. And I laid out a process earlier in the show about how you can get rid of the career politicians without them putting limits on it. Give them one term. They don't do anything, vote them out. Next. And eventually, you will get rid of all of those that have been there for years. That, my friend, will kill the whole sandbagging and staying in there forever, just collecting a paycheck. And we can end that very easily. All right, Don, it's about that time. The clock on the wall says that's all. I got to go.
Alrighty, man.
Thanks for
Great
coming in,
talking
man.
to you.
All right. Chat
I'll
at you
holler.
later. All right. You're listening to Lee Michaels on thepowerofvoices.com. The show is live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I appreciate you showing up. And hit that share button. Share it out to all your friends. Let's blow this puppy up. All right, have a safe day. Talk to you tomorrow. We'll have another great show for you on thepowerofvoices.com. Take care.